Beach Maya in San Francisco, California, sitting in the garden of the Assembly out in the Mission here. It's one of my, I'm actually the resident astrologer here, so it's definitely one of my hangouts. And it's like 70 degrees today. It's gorgeous, or 75. So it's a perfect day to sit out in the garden and make a video sitting hanging out underneath the bamboo in the shade for luck. And this is a perfect metaphor because we just had Jupiter station direct after being retrograde since April. So there's been this big shift, and not only that, but Jupiter is stationed right on the great attractor, which this is a concept that was developed by my colleague Philip Sedgwick, who's an amazing astrologer. And the idea is that between 12 and 16 degrees of the constellation of Sagittarius is this very powerful energy. He noticed that it's almost as if people born with, you know, some of their major planets or ascendant or moon there have this very strong magnetic ability. And when planets go over this point in the zodiac, we feel it as our crown chakra being blasted wide open, and you know, we feel the ability and potential to really magnetize or pull to us miraculous levels. And I don't use that word lightly, but there is a sense of like miracles happening. You know, you don't even have to do the Course in Miracles, but the idea that, you know, we are all great attractors, and we're all tapping into this right now because Jupiter's going to actually be stationing, just sitting on that degree all of August. He's not really moving forward until September. So this is an amazing opportunity for you to look at the Sagittarius part of your horoscope and then consider what life arena that's connected to and how you want to really tap into, magnetize to you that unlimited potential. And also, you know, it's an opportunity for all of us to not only expand our horizons or get back in touch with maybe parts of our psyche that had lost hope or faith. I feel like this full moon week is all about rekindling hope. I think that's a big theme this week, and we've certainly had a lot of news that the news is like beyond soul tragic and very draining to constantly watch the horror in our daily news. So to talk about faith and hope and miracles might sound a little frou-frou, woo-woo, whatever, you know, whatever you call it, could just feel like it's disingenuous considering what we're going through. But if anything, we need that energy more than ever because we are living in rather dark times, and we need to find a way to connect back to possibility, to potential, and keep our spirits up so that we can keep fighting in the light. And this is the week for us to come together with our soul families. I just finished the third P7 with Caitlin, and that's definitely our soul family group over there. So we're all rallying together and doing our deep inner work. And I know you all have your own communities that you work with. If you're not part of the P7 community, you're watching this, I know a lot of people have their, you know, might be at your yoga studio, might be with your astrology group, your local astrology group, or your spiritual group, or just your close friends or your family, maybe your blood family if you're lucky. Most people end up kind of, Aquarius tends to be a little bit more the soul family than the blood family. That tends to be more the Cancer Capricorn, but of course those are still strong too. Actually, as I'm making this video, the moon is with Pluto in Capricorn, so that ongoing July 16th eclipse energy is also up for us right now as I make the video. Hopefully I'll post it today while that energy is still strong, but I wanted to talk more about what's coming with this Aquarius full moon. And the Aquarius full moon has an interesting square to the asteroid Vesta, which before I discovered this, it's interesting, she was on my radar. And I don't talk a lot about asteroids, but I've always had a fascination with Vesta, perhaps because she's in Scorpio in my chart, and she's just come up in conversation a lot over the last few weeks, and it made me realize that part of it is probably because, you know, we're already tapping in. This is that whole thing I was saying with Jupiter being on the great attractor. We're all having this magic of being able to really tap into what's coming, that precognition. So Vesta, you know, as an archetypal influence, really taps into the inner priestess within all of us, and that part of us that stands outside convention. And even if you are married, it might be the part of your soul or your psyche as the divine feminine that is doing work outside of the marriage. It's your identification outside of traditional marriage, because the you could say the trajectory of the Vesta path is all about devotion to the goddess. So we're all being called to look at our relationship to the goddess right now, to the divine feminine, especially while she's in the sign of Taurus, and that's the square to this Aquarius full moon. And then we've also got this beautiful, in that full moon, there's also an opposition to Venus. The Sun and Venus are aligning this week as well, which is really beautiful, in Leo. So wherever you have around, I think it's 22, Leo, is where we're going to have this full moon. Yep, 22. And so look to where you have planets in fixed signs around 22. Now, we just had Uranus station retrograde around 7 degrees of Taurus. So wherever you have early fixed signs, those just got activated with the Uranian energy, which is like the Kundalini shift and the awakening and the sense of liberation that's coming up right now, where you also may be feeling like there's a reversal happening in the Taurus area of your life, or the Scorpio or the Leo or the Aquarius, wherever you have those early fixed signs. And then the full moon's going to really highlight where you have the later degrees in your fixed signs, so around the 22 degree mark. And this is, of course, tropical astrology I'm talking about. In case some of you are Vedic astrologers, it's a different system, so not to be confused. In case you're like, it's supposed to be a Capricorn full moon. So in the Aquarius archetype that we're talking about, it's all about our long-term goals, our hopes, our wishes, and who we consider our soul family in our community. So we're really looking at that and who we want to align with, who we want to collaborate with, who are our soul friends, and also looking at our relationship to friendship and our relationship to what we're really putting our hopes into for the long run, you know. And maybe with the strong opposition of Venus, we're also looking at what we love, what we desire, where we want to put the courage of our heart, how we want to invest that going forward. And let's not forget that, you know, the modern ruler of Aquarius is Uranus, which just went retrograde. So we're also going through a whole revisitation of kind of it's a rehash of the last 6 months, you could say, since Uranus had pretty newly gone into Taurus. I mean, we had the preview last year, and then he went back into Aries, and then he came back again this early spring. So think back to maybe what was happening for you. I believe it was March when we started the second leg of Uranus and Taurus, you know. I will just double check that. Yep. He went back in, yep, right in the beginning of March. That's right, I remember that now. So think back to what was going on for you in March, because now with this retrograde, he's going to start heading back toward those really early degrees. So if you have planets in the early fixed signs, early degrees of the fixed signs, you're really going to feel it. Yeah, he's going to get all the way back to very early, you know, probably 2 degrees of Taurus. I don't have my ephemeris in front of me for 2020. This is the portable ephemeris, just for 2019, which I'm so sad. I heard they're not making these anymore. I got to find something else now for my, you know, day-to-day. I mean, I have the big book at home, but I really love having the portable version just for this kind of thing. But anyway, so look to where you have your fixed quadrants in your chart. So Leo, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius. Look to where those fill in the parts of your life where you're trying to go deeper and grow and stabilize, because fixed energies are all about repeating, repetition, and loyalty, commitment, so that you get this really full, consistent, dependable experience in that part of your life. Whereas, you know, of course, the mutable energies like to shake it up, and they want variety, and they want to mutate, and the cardinals are more social and more traditional. But our fixed are where we really want to like ground in and we want devotion to that part of our lives, and we want to feel that there's dependability and consistency in those arenas. So think about that. Even though there is the shakeup with Uranus, it doesn't mean that you still don't crave the consistency. It just means that you are now thinking of ways to experiment a little more with it, shift things up a little bit, and just innovate. It's really an innovative energy, Uranus and Taurus. And since it's in the sign of Taurus, it has a lot to do with our body, embodiment, the way we treat our bodies, people becoming really conscious of the way food affects them, working with the voice, slowing down, which, you know, how would slowing down affect your nervous system? All of these things are going to be coming up on a deeper and deeper level, and also how we listen. The listening function is also huge with Uranus and Taurus. So we want to consider if we're listening deeply and how we could improve our listening skills, because a lot of us have forgotten how to really listen to each other because we're always in a rush, and we can use this influence to help us slow down and get back into our bodies. Maybe we need to be in the garden. This is very Uranus and Taurus. You know, spending time really appreciating beauty, taking your time, having a saffron, my saffron oat milk latte. So San Francisco. It's something new that I'm trying. It's very good, actually, I have to say. So I love anything saffron. But that kind of thing, that's very Uranus and Taurus, experimenting with new foods or new drinks or beverages or just what we put in our body. It can be like a whole new trip. So anyway, that is kind of the backdrop, because Uranus being the modern ruler of Aquarius, we're thinking about ways to shake things up in all those fixed areas of our chart. So look again to, like I said, where you have those really early degrees around 7, between 0 and 7, and then look to where you have like the later 22. So basically, if you have fixed, I mean, we all have the fixed houses in our chart, so looking where the Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus houses fall, those are getting a lot of action right now. There's a lot of fixed energies right now. We're mostly fixed because most of the planets are in the fixed signs, so it's all about really deciding where you want to put your commitment to go deeper and to get more creative and to have a really rich, full experience of something that you're really dedicated to. That's the way to kind of frame it right now, and to think about what is it that you desire and feel passionate and want to put your heart energy into with all this Leo energy, where you need to work on courage, where you need to work on your willpower and strength, where you need strengthening. And then Taurus, of course, your voice, your body. Aquarius, your friends, your alliances, your group, your community, your relationship to the bigger picture, ability to step back and use the highest level of your intelligence. Mercury's exalted in Aquarius, so our highest level of intellect. And then, I don't mean to leave out Scorpio, oh my God, is of course where we work on the deep emotional shadow work and connection to our vulnerability, and also our ability to like rise up from the ashes. It's so funny, there's like a neighbor on the other side who's been having very Scorpio, as I say Scorpio, very Scorpio conversations about all kinds of crazy things with ambulances and emergency rooms and shootings and things. You might get a little bit of the commentary. So anyway, maybe we'll just leave it right here. I wish you a beautiful, oh my God, I almost said Scorpio full moon. Aquarius full moon on Thursday. Maybe I'll make a more in-depth video when I don't have the interference, but I wanted to at least give you the preview. And if you haven't already joined the Saturn School, if you want to do some deep Saturn work, you can still get in before August 24th is the day 1 of the next Saturn School. And we'd love to have you. That's with the Saturn Sisters. And we also have a weekly podcast, Audioscope, now too, that you could subscribe to if you want to get your weekly forecast like we used to write for Loft. A lot of people were really lamenting the loss of that, so we decided to create Audioscope, so you can get your weeklies, and it's also a transcript like you're used to. So you get, it's like a bonus. You get both, the best of both worlds. You can listen to it in the tub or driving to work or getting stuck in traffic, or you can read it like you're used to, so you'll get both. And that you can also, I'll put a link to that underneath as well if you want to check that out. So those are my latest projects. And if you happen to be in San Francisco this weekend, I'm doing an authentic movement retreat, which is very Uranus and Taurus. So I would love to have you. There's still 2 spots left as of the moment of making this video, so that could change very quickly since I haven't really promoted it that much. So anyway, I really hope that you all have a chance to kind of delve into your deeper commitments and your long-term vision, and also make time for your soul family this week. It's going to be, you're going to really crave your friends, and quality time with friends. Okay, thanks so much for watching, and I'll be back soon.